Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about one of my favorite indie authors, and that is Lily Gold. I have all of her books that are currently out so far, and I have read them, so let's jump in and talk about all of them. Lily Gold is a White Shoes author, and her 4 books are Nanny for the Neighbors, Faking with Benefits, and then we have Triple Duty Bodyguards and 3 Swedish Mountain Men. And I would highly recommend all of these, but my favorite so far has been Nanny for the Neighbors by far. Jumping into talking about each book, Nanny for the Neighbors follows a main female character who is trying to find a job, and then she winds up getting one with her 3 male neighbors who have had a baby left on their doorstep. Now, Lily Gold's books follow a formula where typically one of them already likes the main female character, one of them is hesitant, and then one of them is kind of like a grumpy but comes around to it type of thing. And they all work really well together, but the way they worked in this book was by far my favorite of all of them. When she starts to nanny for them, she is trying to help them take care of this child while also trying to figure out who the dad is, because all 3 of these men had slept with the same woman in a threesome, and that's what has led to this baby on their doorstep. And the man that winds up being the biological father is kind of having like a hard time coping and adjusting because he never really thought that he would be a father, and he doesn't feel like he'll be a good father. I also love that not only does it focus on all 3 of the men, you get like individual scenes as well. So she gets to go on individual kind of like dates, kind of just side quest with these guys, and they're all able to develop their own relationship. And then in this book specifically, there is infertility representation, and as someone going through secondary infertility, it is kind of refreshing to see it done the right way with the right emotions and the right thoughts behind it. So I love that. And then in all of her books, there are some sort of representation. So that is great as well. In this one, we had a same-sex couple, and that was her brother, which I loved to see. And you have also just general depression representation, anxiety, and all of that. So the reason I loved it so much more than the others was partly due to the proper representation, and just the story itself I really just truly enjoyed. Then we have Faking with Benefits, which is my second favorite. This is a fake dating sort of gist. So she owns a lingerie store of her own, and then the men have a podcast, and so she goes on their podcast and they're trying to teach her how to date. So they're fake dating in order to teach her, you know, the method to dating. And so over time, they start to realize that they have feelings for each other and decide to try to take it a little bit more seriously. And then she gets a contract in LA and things are shaken up a little bit. But I feel like the relationship in this one was equally as good as the one in Nanny for the Neighbors. And they're all very cohesive and work together really well. Triple Duty Bodyguard is my third favorite, and this is a bodyguard celebrity romance. It's technically like a military bodyguard / celebrity romance. She's a celebrity and she's got this like stalker, and so they're hired to try to protect her. And again, like with the other books, their relationship develops over time. I thought this book was different than the other 3 in that like something action actually happens, like an action-packed thing happens, and I'm not going to say what because I don't want to ruin it, but that made this one more unique than the other 3, and I could see why this might be someone's favorite. I just didn't feel like the relationships were as well set up as the other 2 books. And then we have 3 Swedish Mountain Men. This, I believe, was her first book, and it is the shortest. She goes up to the mountains for vacation and she gets snowed in, and so these 3 men take her in, and over the course of them being snowed in, they wind up developing feelings for each other, and she winds up, you know, having to stay there and work with them through the fact that they're snowed in and they're all strangers. And so This book was good in its own way. It just wasn't my favorite just because personally I don't care as much for the forced proximity in a way when you don't know them at all. I feel like it works better when you know them at least a little bit. So their relationships felt a little bit awkward, but it was still really good by the end of the book. That is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.